Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly. We can run away. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly?
Okay, so up ahead we have what appears to be a dead kangaroo behind a white car with no plates. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that they've hit this kangaroo, done that much damage to the car that they've abandoned it. Well, you know, left it. That wasn't here the other day, so where you can see that, guys. I'm filming on my phone because my camera is back in the car. Oh, this poor Roo. Yeah, that looks like what's happened. Got a heap of traffic behind me. I'm going to have to wait a second. It stinks too. Oh, here we go. There we go. Yep, that's what's happened. Hit the roof. Can't drive the car. Common occurrence here in Australia. Hope everyone's okay. Poor Roo lost his life though. All right. Good morning, everybody. I've got some work to do on Rigzy here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what needs to be done. I'm going to take you inside and show you all the things that I've done in there. I've got to do a few things in there. I've finally finished all of the insulation, but because it's a bit patchy, like it was really difficult to cut out an entire section because all the sections are curved. I could have taken my time a bit more with it and made like paper templates and then, you know, drawn those onto the insulation and cut them out, you know, Mickey Mouse, but I'm lazy and I just thought I'll just do it by eye. So there's a lot of, you know, not good spots. Anyway, because there's so little patchy pieces, in the heat it starts to curl in the edges. So I've tried to fix it with double-sided tape. That didn't work. So I've got to silicone it today. So I'll be doing that, probably the last thing I do today. But let me take you around and show you. So the other day, as you know, I had an accident and the dune awning got ripped off. Was going to put it back on, and I zip tied everything back into place, but these zip ties are too thin, so it was always going to be a temporary thing anyway until I got the bigger zip ties, which I've got. But what I forgot was that the bolts to come in behind here that have got to come through need to go in first before you do the zip ties, and I fucked that up. So got to rip all that out again today. There you go. Look how ganky that is now. It still works, but it just looks shit. Okay, so we've got to come in. We've got to cut rust out. So I don't know how well you can see it, but there's rust down in here. So I've got to take this wheel off. I've got the jack there ready to go if I can get out of the bloody shade. And down in here as well, there is also rust that needs to come out because I had this manual hand pump too close and it wasn't bouncing, it just thingoed it. So I've also got to find a new home, pardon me for that. What else? So inside I've got a new LED in there. Just got it from a $2 shop. It was, I think, hang on. I got to take the filter off. I think it was only a couple of dollars, maybe, I don't know, $10 or something. Because I don't know if I remember telling you, all of my I'll put this back on. All of my other LEDs in there, the little controller, it used to be all voice activated, but one day I had a screwdriver I had something in my mouth and I was in the electrical box. I knew it was a stupid thing to do and I fucking sneezed. And the spanner or whatever it was arced across the battery and blew the BMS. and everything that was connected to it that had a little controller, all those things blew, which included all the LEDs. So I don't know if the LEDs still work. I've left them in place, but I need new controllers for it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I was in a $2 shop and I saw this bargain LED thing, so I've just whacked that in there. It comes with a little control. You can play it to music. You can set it to music or something, and it changes and goes all disco. I don't bother with that, but it changes colours. You've got the controller. It's got about 10 different colours on there or something. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then so I'm going to take you in and show you what I've done in there before I start doing anything else. Let's go. Okay, so this little USB gizmo here needs replacing. It's got a 1 amp charger and a 2.1 amp charger, and the bottom one's fragged because I had something connected in there one night and I must have kicked it with my foot while I was sleeping and it broke it, so I've got to replace that. Now let's go in. Okay, so we're deep into the bosom of the vehicle, the module section, and as you can see up here, you see how these little patchy bits of insulation, it's all sort of hanging down. It all needs to be fixed up and whatever. So we're gonna, I don't know if I've shown you this before. It is a fan and a light, and here's the controller for it here. And let me let some more light in so we can see a bit better. Okay, so this controller, it does light. Hang on, it's supposed to do a light. Yeah, it does a light, and it's also a fan, and that spins around and keeps me cool on hot days. So that's pretty nifty. And then turn that. Oh no, leave it on. That's quite nice. And then here's the controller for the LEDs that change the color of the lights. Oh, it's over there. There we go. Red, green, blue, orange, yellow, some other color, and then purple. So at night when I'm sleeping, I have it on like orange or red and down really low. I don't know if you know, but the color red or orange is very good to sleep under. I don't know if you knew that. Now you do. Anyway, so let's turn it back to white so I can see what I'm doing in here. Let's turn up the brightness. There we go. Okay. So I think I've shown you this before. I'll show you it again. It is a circuit board which has all relay. It's a relay circuit board, and it's all protected. So if something fucks up going into it or coming out of it, it just turns itself off. I've got two USB hubs here, little plugs here, and they're both the quick charging ones, 2.1 amps, which is, well, when I say quicker than 1 amp. You can get them, charging faster, but 3 amps I think is another one. So that's really nifty. I've got the USB fan there. I've shown you that before. That's exhaust out. Takes all the CO2 out, and down the very end, near the door down there on the right side, near the dual car hot water system, I have air in. So the air comes up through fresh air, and then it sucks all the crap out there. So, and I have that on at all times when I'm in the rig. So I think that's about all I wanted to show you in here. So let's get to work. All right. Okay, so I've taken the wheel off, the front right wheel, and what I thought was just a little bit of rust on the top is actually really bad here. So I'm going to have to take off the disc brake mechanism there and basically do the whole thing. So let's go and do that. So I have to give up on this because I cannot get a bloody Allen key in there, because this whatever that's called thing is in the way. So I'm gonna have to, I didn't bring all my tools, I'm gonna have to quit, do the other side and come back later with the right Allen key. Alright. Okay, so I've taken the back left wheel off, and it was a bit difficult. I've got a bit of surface rust in there. I'm going to have to clean that up, but this is free now, so let's get in there with the grinder, with the little fucking rust removal pad. And then I've got some penetrol, which I'll whack on there, and then I'll burn that off with a little flamethrower, and then I'll tape it all out and spray it. And then I'll have to come back later for the other side because I didn't bring all my tools. Okay, so masked it out, and I'm just using fiddly bits. It's grey primer. I forgot the black spray paint. I thought this was it because it had a black lid. It says flat black, but somewhere along the line I've changed the fucking lid. Ah, my god, my god, it's gonna look shit, but I'll just grey prime it and then come back later date with the black, go over it. So that will be enough of the primer, I think, but it needs a bit more underneath. Yes, lovely. Okay, let's let that dry. Teaching the young lad how to use the digital air inflator, and he's helping me service the rig, aren't you, mate?
Yeah.
Good work.
It's on 5 now. 5 years time.
So we got 5 more pairs, 50 you mean, and then we got 5 more to go. And it's done.
Now 4 more.
Right.
3 more. 3.5. No, 2.5 more. And 1 more. 1 more. No, 2 more. No, 1 more. Yeah, 1 more. 0. I'm done. I was about to say 0.5.
So go back to the first one. Did you find a broken spoke there, did you?
Yeah.
Where's that one? That one there, is it?
Yeah.
Down there. You found one broken spoke there?
Yeah.
And where's the other broken spoke? On the other side, is it?
It's here.
Yeah, alright. 2 broken spokes. Well, I've got spares in there. You know what that means I need to do? I have to take that wheel off, take the tyre off and the tube. It's quite a process because these Schwalbe big bend balloon tyres are a bastard to get off, but I've got it down to a fine art now. Well done. Alright, now on to the next wheel. Okay, so June has found 2 broken spokes which we've got to fix. There's one there and then there's one there, and that's it out of the whole bike. I haven't checked these for months, the spokes, so it's not surprising. And I've got all the tools here. I've got this new little gadget here, which is what they call a it's from Crank Brothers. I've used it once before. I think it worked pretty good, but to get it started you need these little things, and these Schwalbe Big Ben Plus balloon tires, which have the anti-thorn, anti-puncture, I think it's carbon fiber in there, like built into the chemistry, are really good. So yeah, they're a bugger to get off. Anyway, let's go. Do right. You ready? Now, before putting the tyre levers in, it's always a good idea to go around and cinch everything into the middle, just so that the tyre levers have less chance of popping the tyre, or what they call cinching the tyre, or grabbing a hold of it. I don't know. Anyway, that's done. Now, I don't know with tyre levers whether you should start near where the valve is or down the bottom or whatever, so I'm just going to go with starting up here. Anyway, if that's wrong, someone can chime in and give me some advice. I did try to Google it just now, and you know, quite frankly, I can't be bothered sitting through 20 minutes of people's YouTube videos and Googling for a simple thing. So I know I've never bothered with it in the past, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So what I do is I put sort of 2 in and I pop it over because these things are a bastard to get off, and then I'm going to try and use this new one. I can't remember if this worked good or not last time. It's meant to be the best one on the market apparently, so we will see. Let's go. So here I am back down to the right front brake caliper system that has rusted out. I now have the correct Allen key without all the multi-tool crap on it. So I can only just get into this area here a little bit, but the other one's really easy. So let me take that off and then grind that out and spray it up. It is not the best day for doing anything. It's a bit drizzly, but I need to get this done. Time is of the essence, and just got to do it. Otherwise I have to park this up under a cover somewhere and do it, and I don't want to do that, and I can't do it in the storage shed because they don't like you working in there, which is fair enough. Do right. Here we go. I've probably got ahead of myself there and taped it up even before I've grinded it, but that's just what I did. So let's get rid of this rust. Crikey, it's even a bit up in there. Oh no, I've got a bit of sandpaper for that. I know how to do that. Let's check the other side. Oh, the other side's okay, it's just that side. Okay, I've got a bit of 1200 sandpaper there. Let's take a bit off just to get into, yes, this corner bit here. I don't know how you can see it, guys, but put the grinder in there. Fuck it. Alright. No, and I'm taking it off the other fucking places, trying to get the fucking grinder in there. Fuck, can't. Fuck, just keep going, fucking hell. Should have brought a fucking file. I didn't know there was rust in this weird fucking spot though, did I? Fucking hell. Yeah, but you should come prepared, cunt. You should come fucking prepared for these sorts of situations. Alright, let's just wipe it down with my hand. No need to get fucking scientific here, folks. Oh, that fucking powder coating's coming off on the other side. Look at that. Oh, fuck, powder coating. Fucking hell, cunt. Oh, yeah, look, it's all rusted out behind there as well, you little bastard. There's no way I'm going to get the grinder in there, is there? No. Oh, hello. Ah, I did. Fucking amazing. I fucking did. Oh, lovely. Alright. Now, okay, first coat of fucking... Now I need to be careful not to spray in these fucking things, otherwise some problems. Oh, good on you. Drop the fucking tape. Alright. Okay, first coat of primer. And I've just put that a little bit of 1200 wet and dry in these little holes. Just rolled it up. And don't forget the other side where you grinded that off. Oop. That's interesting. Very difficult to get in there. I think we'll just do the one coat of primer. And yes, don't forget you fucked up down there. There's a spray bit there. Yes. Okay, primer done. Now let's hope it doesn't fucking rain. And that dries well enough, and then I think I'd like to do 1 or 2 coats of black. I did do the other side over here, I'll show you. Fuck, mozzies are biting my ass. Let me take this filter off, hang on. Oh yes. Okay, down there. I have finished that. It is a real bum rush job, but it's done. One coat of primer and one or two coats of primer, one or two coats of black it was. And then I still need to take this wheel off, sandpaper 1200 wet and dry in where it's rusted out a bit, just a bit of surface rust, and re-grease it, which I have brought with me. Alright. Okay guys, I need some help. I've got a problem with the Bafang motor cutting out, which in previous experience it has been going up hills that it's overheated and cut out, but this time it's not doing that. Good morning! And so what's happened is I've checked all the power leads from the battery coming into the Bafang motor and into the controller. Now, you know, after 3 years of riding, you would think that a few bumps and that here and there have loosened up the connections. I've taped them all up, so I undid all that, and was there anything there? Not really, so I've retaped it all up. Now, the thing is that it is not anything to do with the battery itself, right? Because there is power coming from the battery and fueling up, giving power to my USB hub here to charge my vape and my phone when I'm riding. So it's not that. So what happens is the LED LCD display cuts out. Now I have Googled it, and I've jumped on YouTube and looked at tutorials, and it could be a number of things. So one of the things is it could be the controller. I think that's what it's called, inside the Fang motor itself, where all the phasing is, and there's a little circuit in there, I think, or I can't remember the name of it, but that could have been fragged. They say that water damage can get in there and frag it up, but I've checked all the seals in there and they look pretty good. And I remember, no, I've never even been in there. I've never been in this one. I've just checked the seals and they look fine. The way that this Fang is configured, that the wires are on the top and they're not pointing down, which means that the water cannot, roll down through and sit on top of the wires and eventually corrode into the motor. So all those wires are coming out the top, so the rain just washes straight off it. The only other thing I can think of is this display thing here. Maybe that's burnt out or something. But now that I've retaped everything, all the power cables, I've checked everything there, I will, next time I take it for a ride, I will see if it does it again. It's just frustrating. I mean, it was frustrating enough to have it happen when you're going up a hill, but it's a very common problem for a Bafang mid-drive system. But now it's doing it all the time. It's just a pain in the ass, so it'd be great. If anyone knows any info, I'd greatly appreciate it. Chime in the comments on this video, and let's see if we can track it down. So here is the breakfast of champions. It is a vegan shake. The company has changed their name. They used to be called hang on, I don't even remember. Anyway, so it's just milk, but you can use soy milk, almond milk, whatever milk you want, or water. And it's got 2 scoops of this vegan powder, a little bit of drinking chocolate. I usually put a banana in there, or half a banana. Run out of bananas today, and I just put a couple of little, saccharin sweeteners in there just to beef it up a bit. And have one of these every morning. Trying to lose weight, so that's the reason why. It thickens up, it's got a bit of body into it, so it makes you feel full. No need to give that too much of a go today because there's no banana in it, so very easy peasy. And then basically we just drink it. I like to drink it pretty fast, so it's still got bubbles and that in there. I don't know, I just like it like that. Breakfast of champions. Okay. Okay, so it seems to be dry enough to do the black. So let's have a look. Also noticed some other spots that are getting a bit rusted out as well. I'll show you those in a minute. Now I've got to do behind, down in there. Right, let that dry. And okay, I'll take this off and show you. Hopefully you can see alright. So down in here where this material for the seat is rubbing against there, how well you can see that, right in there. Down here where the suspension is for the seat, that's coming off. It's all surface rust in there. There's a few other little spots as well, so it may be coming to the point where I need to take everything off this and send it to a powder coaters, but you know, I don't want to do that anytime soon. Also, I want to make this curve less curvy, so it may be an idea to take it back to Benno at Tri-Sled and get him to do it. I will change the colour, probably go like a gunmetal grey. This is, I don't know what colour this is, it's kind of like a metallic charcoal or something, I don't know. But there was a bit limited in the colour range there, so yeah, I've always been a bit partial to metallic gunmetal grey, the darker sort of one. So I'll either do that or a matte black, yes. Okay, so it's gotten to the stage where I'm getting a bit low on the old vape juice. Now, I mix my own. All of these flavours here are from a company online. I'll try and find, I've got the link saved in my thing. I'll try and find it and leave it in the description area for you. These are all health approved by whatever the ISO, whatever health standard is we use here in Australia. These are all Loran oils, which are purportedly the best ones that you can get. I ran into a guy, hang on a sec. I ran into a guy at a bus stop, I ran into a guy at a bus stop a few weeks ago, and he saw me smoking the vape, and he said, "Oh, where do you get your juice, your oil from?" I said, "I make my own." And he says, "Oh, well, do you know what's in that?" You know, and he was really quite profound about it, you know, trying to make a massive point. And I said, "Look, I only buy my flavours from a reputable company. They're all Loran oils. They're all been approved by the health standard." And he said, "Oh, well, what about those ones that are made in China and that?" I said, "I very rarely even buy those, mate, because I don't know what's in it." He said, yeah, when you get home, get on Google and check out research flavours." And he was quite insistent, so I actually did, because I just thought, even though it was a bit over the top, I thought I'd check it out. And he's right, there's some really bad stuff in that pre-made stuff that you get. That's why it's so important to mix your own. I've got my own salt nicotine there from Mixology Vape in New Zealand, who unfortunately are no longer allowed to sell it anymore. The PG VG is already mixed there, 70% VG, 30% PG. Used to get that from a company called Vapor in Sunbury somewhere. And so that's the difference. So, you know, I make all my own oils. I know, you know, roughly what's going into it, and it's a big difference. But now the laws have changed, and now big tobacco's got a hold of it, which means the government are making a fortune. And it just sucks, mate, you know, that those bloody novelty vapes that the kids were getting from pharmacies or wherever the bloody hell they were getting them from has just ruined it for everyone. But I'm sure that was a cunting plan all along from these pricks. Anyway, fuck them. You can still get it online from various places. I cannot say where they are. You'll have to use your own diligence and find out where those are. But I'll give you a hint. It's the old Silk Road. So if you're familiar with the Silk Road, you can get anything you want on there. Just Google search Silk Road or the old Silk Road, and eventually you'll find your way to paradise. Do right. Anyway, I got a gazillion flavours. This is only half of them. I only brought half of them over here. These are the latest ones I've got, the nice, really nice ones. And One of the reasons I have so many flavors is simply because after a while you get what's known as vape tongue, which after then nothing, you just can't taste anything. It doesn't matter what it is, flavor you've got in there. And the only way that you can get out of that is to have as many flavors as possible, to chop and change. Never let your vape go right down. Always leave a little bit in the bottom and then fill it up with another flavor, and just do that, so you're breaking it up. And I also have a flavor that I fucking hate, just to sort of act as a sorbet, as a cleansing palette, and I'm not a fan of spearmint or ginger. And cinnamon, I have a really strong one of cinnamon, which is just absolutely over the top. So I smoke, that for half a day, and that usually counteracts the vape tongue. But another thing, unfortunately, I do from time to time is I'll buy a packet of cigarettes here in Australia, which of course, you got to give 10 litres of blood to buy a packet of those, but then smoke that over a few days with the vape here and there, and then when they've run out, the vape tongue's usually gone. Let's get mixed. So I'm just putting the nicotine in with the little pipette. You got to put 6 ml in each one. So one pipette full is 3 ml. So you do 2 little pipettes in each one. Already done the 3 on the left there for my friend Trev Man, who's running low on stock. He's finding it hard to find out where to get it, so I'll help him out until he works it all out. I'll show him how to do it. So this is how we do it, It's pretty simple, really. I mean, those ones I'm filling up now have not actually run out completely of stuff. Oh yeah, and by the way, medical warning here, you are supposed to wear gloves here, guys. Do not do this without gloves. I just do it because it's one less thing I have to fucking take with me is gloves, And I'm not putting 6 ml in this one because it still had a fair bit in there, so I do, what's that, 4 ml, 4.5 ml all told. It is poison, nicotine, so I'll put that over there. I'll clean that properly later. So I've got about a 12-month supply still of this nicotine before I need to start, getting back onto the old Silk Road. Next is flavouring. Hang on. Okay, so I forgot to mention that I use a mixing calculator. Get them online. So I usually mix up 100 ml at a go. So, and the calculator, you put in the base strength. Mine's 100. That's the nicotine. And then you put in the milligrams you want. I always only smoke 6 milligrams. And then you put in the amount, which is 100 ml. Now, the thing is, you've got to leave a little bit of an air gap in the top so you can shake them. You have to really shake these things really good, guys. So let's just do this. These are a few for me mate Trev on the left. So it's not, it's not rocket science. You just bloody do it kind of correct. It's, 6 milligram. Maybe you go to 7 milligram because you're a bit heavy-handed with the pour. So what? Who cares? And then you shake. I just give them a little shake now, and then when I've done them all, I come back and for about 10 minutes I shake them all in total. Okay, so that's dry, even in this crappy, not really perfect weather for painting, but it's good enough. So we just got to put everything back on. Okay, so remember the other day I told you there was a bit of surface rust here in these bearings, in the shaft, and this is looking a bit ganky as well. So I'm going to sand them all back, grease it up with this bicycle grease here, and just make it all Mickey Mouse. Alright, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I've lightly sanded in here with 1200 on either side. It's looking a lot better than it was. And I wiped this down and I lightly sanded this back with 1200 as well. Just see a little bit of surface rust in here as well. I got some penetrol. I'll deal with that another day because I brought it here with me the other day and never used it. And I thought, I'll take it back, and didn't bring it. So, all right, let's grease it up. all greased up nicely with a nice bluish hue to it. There we go. Now let's just put everything back on. Alright. Just running a bit of that grease around this bolt, the axle bolt, to keep the wheel on. Just hopefully that'll stop a bit of the rust. It's just a lot of little things are rusting out. Also noticed the toe ball here was making a few squeaky noises, and it needs to be greased as well. So I'll do that as well. Okay, all greased up. Hopefully that'll take care of the squeakiness as I'm riding and turning. Okay, so I'm in the e-bike electrical box. I was just talking to my mate Pete on the phone, telling him I'm having a problem with the bafang cutting out. It was either the controller in the Fang motor or the LED LCD controller configuration up there. And then I said, oh yeah, because I know that when it cuts out, I still get power to the USB hub up here to charge my phone and vape. But then I just remembered I've got it plugged in here to the bus bars. It's got nothing to do with the battery. So I think it's the battery. I've put it in there funny, or the connections are bad. So I'm going to have a look. Let's go. Okay, so I've pulled the battery out. The connections look fine. Both connections look fine, but what I'll do is I will get in there with a bit of paper towel. I did set a little bit of water here, but it's not on the electrics, and it's also in here as well. So I'll clean that up. The 3-pin plug looks alright in there, and on there it looks fine as well. So let's just try and clean it up a bit and see what the hell's going on, see if that fixes it, take it for a ride, see what happens. Alright. Okay, so I think I may have worked out what's wrong with the controller or the bafang motor cutting out all the time. The other day when I took this wheel off to get in there, and the front right wheel where all the furniture is for all of the controller for the bafang and everything, took the wheel off, and then I put the wheel back on, and then the bloody the magnet for the speedometer and the little saddle, the little harness thing that it goes past, it's meant to be like 1 or 2 mil from that, was all banged out of place. And yeah, I don't know if that could cause the actual bafang for cutting out. I tried to find an answer to that on Google and like Endless Fear forum and that, and they just talk about fixing that speedometer. They don't talk about it cutting out. So anyway, I'm going to try and muck around with that, see if I can fix it and see if that fixes the cutting out, because I just took it for a ride, took some of my tools back to my storage shed, and it cut out about 3 or 4 times on the way there and on the way back as well. So it's a pain in the arse. I've got no speedo at the moment, so I'm hoping that's the case. This cutting out problem has never happened before, and I have not been going up any hills of recent times. It only started happening after I, gankied all that bloody speedometer magnety thing up. So let's give that a whirl and see what we see. Okay, so I've jacked the wheel up, and as you can see right there, it is way out of bloody line with that thing, and it is coming up with error H21. You can't see it there at the moment, but it eventually does come up with that little yellow triangles error problem, and it says 21H or H21. So I've just got it jacked up. I'm going to play around with it, see if I can fix it, but it's miles out there. It's like 3 or 4 centimeters away from the thing there. Because it was ganky the other day, I just bloody shoved it out of the way, and ever since then I've had problems. So let's try to fix that. Okay, so I've fixed up the little magnet and that, and it is now in the, can you see that? I don't know, you won't be able to see the light coming on and off, I don't think, because it's too sunny here today, but trust me, it is working. It's in the right spot. All that's left to do now is go for a test ride and see if it cuts out again, and if it keeps cutting out, then we know that that has nothing to do with it, and it's something else more sinister. Okay, so the speedo's working again. Hang on, I'll take the filter off. Hang on. Trying to ride, do this at the same time. It's good fun. I don't know how well you can see it. I can't see shit, so possibly you can't see it either. But we've got 8. I'm only going very slow because I want to test this out. Anyway, you have to take my word for it. It's working. Probably do about 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps of this oval. See if it cuts out again. If it continues to cut out, then we know it's not that. And we've got another problem altogether, haven't we? Yes, we do. So if anyone can chime in, if you know that, the error code H21 on the Fang controller, LCD screen, is to do with the speedo, but can that cut the motor out? Can that cut the screen off? Like, is that trying to say to me, look, you need to fix this, otherwise we're just going to keep turning off? Has anyone ever had the same problem? I can't find it anywhere. I mean, I had a quick look, I thought, okay, so I need to fix that, so I just thought I'd fix that. So anyway, coming up to nearly doing 1 lap, do another 2 or 3. Look, normally it would have cut out by now, had that speedo not been working. So we will see. A couple more laps. Okay folks, I'm happy to say that fixing that speedometer, the magnet and the little saddle, the harness that the magnet goes past, seems to have fixed the issue. I did 2 or 3 laps of the oval here, and it's gravel road, pretty bumpy, and it's working fine. It hasn't cut out. The error warning H21 or 21H or whatever it is hasn't come back, so, and it hasn't cut out, so that's the most important thing. I can live without the speedo, but having it cut out like that without going up a hill is extremely frustrating, mate. And I'm glad to say so far it's okay. I need to go for a bit of a longer ride, obviously, and really give it a test. But until then, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you watching these video uploads. More to come soon. Just wanted to give a couple of shout outs. One to a friend of mine, Pete from Oz, bought me 10 coffees the other day. Thanks, Pete. Big shout out to you, mate. Gangster. Whenever I get up to Kuta, mate, Cootamundra, I'll be reaching out to you, mate, and we'll go for a ride, go for a beer, etc. Thanks again, mate. On a more sadder note, a friend of mine has got terminal cancer. Shrekky, Chris, mate, I'm going to miss you, buddy. I know you're on your last legs. You may have passed since I last spoke to your wife, Kerry. I know that, that you only had a couple of days left to go, mate. I know we've had a bit of contact leading up to you going downhill in a big way, mate, and you're going to be missed, mate. I know you watch all my uploads, and you've always been a strong commenter and appreciative of what I've been doing, and always supported me, mate. And you're going to be sadly missed, mate. So a big shout out to you, buddy. Whenever I go fishing, mate, you'll be there in spirit with me. All right, guys, take care. Take care, Kerry. If you need me for anything, you just holler out. You got my number, all right? All right. See you guys. Take care. Rest in peace, bro. Love you.